Hello there and welcome to this edition of 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside me is Albert Sita and Guillermo Sita. We got a great show for you today. We got a pair of combatants on the MSC 39, Tom Gallicchio and Gilbert Smith, so that should be awesome interviews. But I want to point to the fact that Ollie the Trolley's back with us in the studio, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, he went on two-week vacation to New York.
If people
no
notice
messages,
our
calls,
last
no
action
texts.
episode, no audio.
We had no video. We had no video on our last show, even though it was an action-packed one because our engineer Ollie the Trolley went on vacation.
Extended holiday, I guess you say, right?
Yeah. I just want to thank Albert too. He got me on the Machida shake diet.
I saw that. He posted on Instagram.
Oh man, that works magic.
If it's a Machida smoothie, is there a little bit of your pee in there?
No, there wasn't.
That's the thing. That's
as you get to the full level, right?
We didn't want to go take the extra step.
Did
Plus, I didn't want my brother to drink my urine.
Oh, it's your urine. I thought yourself.
Albert prepared it for me.
I prepared it, so it would have to be my urine.
I thought the whole thing was like it's your own urine, so you're giving out what you're taking in.
Oh well, we didn't do that. We didn't get to that level.
Well, anyways, the gang's all back together. You can see us as long as you're hearing us now. But I guess the week's headlines for MMA was I think the big one was Dominick Cruz had to force to vacate his bantamweight championship.
And Uriah Faber now.
Always ready to go.
Yeah, I think he said on his Twitter, if you're always ready, you never have to get ready.
Yeah.
So, which is a great point on his conditioning as the camp there. So, but the big story I want to talk about was Dominick Cruz after 2 years out, an ACL tear, suffers a groin tear. Mm-hmm. Now he vacates the title. Doesn't know when he's gonna come back. They even said if when he returns, he's gonna get a title shot. But Guillermo, you yourself tore your ACL.
I tore my ACL playing soccer.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what did my college career.
Yeah.
But basically, when you tear something, I mean, like, there's always that fear that you're gonna get injured again, unless you block that mentally. Like Adrian Peterson has no regard,
especially in football.
No fear whatsoever. But I mean, like, sometimes even with that injury, if you can see Kobe Bryant, sometimes you start favoring other parts of your body.
You think that led toward maybe his tearing his groin? He maybe favored it a little bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're scared. Oh, I might do this wrong movement, so maybe I'll stop or make a different movement.
Yeah,
and that could contribute to maybe tearing something else or hurting something else. I mean, they say the same thing about Kobe Bryant's breaking his tibia or whatever, the top of his
kneecap or something.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it could happen. I'm still scared to play soccer sometimes.
Really?
Like, I'll just stop because instead of going
even
fully through.
What if you're like just like walking and you like step in like a pothole, like a little.
Oh yeah, you get that scared right away.
Really?
As long as your knee buckles just a little bit,
yeah.
you get that scared. So
Wow.
I mean, like, you're like, oh, should I hit the? Well, me, when I tore my ACL, I just hit the deck.
Wow.
I do have one question that I keep trying think of which one would they do is when he does come back, do you just put him in title contention?
Or
do you let him recover and take like maybe two fights and then go for the belt?
I mean, because like there's not a timetable on his return yet, so you don't know when he's going to return. But even if he does, his first fight back was against Renan Barão.
Yeah,
I mean
that's not easy.
That's not easy if you're healthy and 100%.
Just as your favorite.
Yeah. So I mean, there's guys like Eddie Wineland, Eric Perez, who maybe are willing to step up and face Dominick Cruz. Or
I think Dominick Cruz needs a number one contender fight.
Yeah.
When he comes back of injury.
So should he get the loser of this fight then?
That's still a tough fight.
Yeah, you're right, Faber.
That's the one thing I never really liked about UFC. They don't really cut breaks to like people that were former champions and coming off of a certain injury. They just want them kind of just go in there and take it out. When in reality, I think they really should just go to a mid-card level and then see where they're at. Maybe
I kind of agree with Albert because
still that high competition.
I mean, like, look at Machida. You go on a 3-fight lose streak, but you're on top. Like, you're losing against top contenders. I mean, like, it happens. You're fighting top contenders, but someone down below, like, let's say a Pat Barry has a 4-fight lose streak or whatsoever, and he's still in the company.
Even if you were to go different sports, let's go baseball term. When someone's recovering from an injury, they go and do single
minor leagues, exactly,
and then move up to the big leagues because you want to see where they're at and if they need more recovery. If not, I mean,
that's a good point. But
it only makes sense to me.
Yeah, but then it's almost like, okay, so how much are they invested in stars initial favoritism? Like, does everybody get hurt? Like, what if like Pat Barry gets hurt? Does he go to the rehab assignment? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's where I mean, like, if they had the WEC still.
But if you really think about it, it's a win-win situation. Let's say your superstar Dominick Cruz loses to a mid-card level guy.
Yeah.
The mid-card level guy now becomes a superstar. But you don't really lose Dominick Cruz as superstar because you can still make the argument like, oh, he's not fully recovered yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He still needs to go back in the gym and train some more. But now, in the other hands, now you have another guy that defeated Dominick Cruz and gets catapulted all the way up to the top tier.
Well, let's bring it back to basketball. Kobe Bryant, do you think he was back to 100% healthy coming back from?
No, he had 6 games.
Gallicchio was pressured.
And he's still leading the fan base in overall All-Star.
Well, that's just what you call the Mamba, dog. I mean, what do you want to do?
That's true.
So, I mean, the superstardom's still there.
Yeah. That's true. Speaking of also recovery now, Anderson Silva also released pictures of his leg without a cast, just a bunch of screws in it, right?
Yeah, and they said probably in 30 days you'll be able to be walking without the crutches.
And he already called out GSP.
Really?
Yeah. He called them out.
His management wants GSP on his fight when return.
One last paycheck for both.
Both?
I like it.
Go on the sunset.
And guess what?
What?
I'll pay the extra $5.
It's not gonna be free on the UFC app, Fight Press app, or
no, they're not.
Pass.
They're not as good as WWE.
This is the best matchup for Jason Hendricks.
And keep in mind, guys, I am not hired or affiliated with World Wrestling Entertainment, but that is a wonderful app. I will be picking up in February. Better than UFC TV.
WWE Network.
Yeah, dude, you get all 12 pay-per-views included.
For like $10 a month too.
Yeah,
so you got all like their backlog. Of,
what
do you get WrestleMania? That's
you get
every pay-per-view.
Every pay-per-view. Okay. And you get the previous pay-per-views that have aired. You get all the WCW, ECW
the backlog
stuff.
tapes.
See, UFC TV, and me and Ollie the Trolley, we checked it out all day long, remember?
UFC TV sucks. I have it on
It's $10 a month as well, but you get some of the events, not all of them. You get some of the good fights, some not.
I mean, like prime time show up like after the event comes up.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. Like I saw the prime time for Johnny Hendricks and GSP after the pay-per-view was over.
And just the way the format is, it's kind of difficult to kind of navigate through the actual app. I mean, how long did it take you to find the Safedine fight? He said 5 minutes. Look at that. 5 minutes.
At 5 minutes, all the trolley time is forever.
Yeah, it's forever. So I was just throwing that out there. I mean, again, I'm not affiliated with WWE, but the app is that I'm gonna subscribe.
But if you can't
speaking on that, what about Brock Lesnar? I heard he's in talks with UFC still.
Well, yeah. Supposedly,
we have to get through the big show first.
Yeah, the big show first. He has a big bout coming up at WrestleMania, and then we'll go from there. I know he has 30-minute compete in the Royal Rumble, then we'll go from there. But supposedly, he had a rumor that he was at the UFC 168 going to meet with Dana White, but then that never happened.
Yeah.
So they're saying that the WWE dropped that rumor on purpose because he debuted that Monday after the card.
Yeah.
So
but I heard they're still in talks.
Yeah, but now they're saying that
to double compete.
Yeah, supposedly, but I don't think so. I mean, why would he compete? I mean, I can see as for like the UFC, why would they want to bring him in? Because he's obviously a big star, and the heavyweight division is going to be kind of
without
paper thin in 2014. But if you're Brock Lesnar, like you better give me like some ragdolls to throw around. Because
that's my question to you guys. Do you think Brock Lesnar, if he comes back, will he reach the title like he did with Randy Couture?
Unless he goes,
it's a different set of heavyweights now.
Unless he's been secretly working on his stand-up ever since he left. But you saw he can't even take a punch. I mean, like you saw what Cain Velasquez did to him. You saw what Alice Overeem did to him. So
he beat Shane Carr when he beat Randy Couture. So you don't think that's in?
Well, before we get to our awesome interviews and leave the wrestling world, I'm just gonna say one more thing. There's supposedly some backstage heat with Bautista and what's your boy's name? The Mexican fighter,
Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, supposedly there's some beef behind. Well, maybe they're setting up an MMA fight. I don't know.
Alberto Del Rio did fight in MMA.
All I'm saying is I wouldn't mind seeing that fight.
Yeah, both Del Rio
MMA fight.
Both Del Rio and Bautista have competed MMA.
So I wouldn't mind
seeing
that.
Pretty funny.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but he didn't ever win Del Rio.
Yeah. So I think a lot more fans.
It's funny because he fought MMA with a mask.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Gotta keep it kayfabe. All right. Enough wrestling for today. We'll go to back to MMA, specifically sticking MFC. So stick around, guys.
Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
All right, join us now on the 5-Round MMA hotline is MFC lightweight Tom Gallicchio. Tom, how's it going, man?
It's going good. Just working on break right now. Doing my thing, getting ready to do some cardio after I get out of here.
Hi, Tom. This is Guillermo. I just want to know how your training camp is going, preparing for MFC 39.
Oh, it's like the circus. It's intense.
So speaking of your training camp, I know you're originally from Jersey. You trained out there with guys like Frank Yeager and Kurt Pellegrino, but you moved your way back to California with Team Quest. Can you talk about that little switch a little bit and why you thought it was necessary to move across country for training camps?
Well, because they got a facility with everything in there, and it's all in one. You got coaches, tons of coaches, got all the right people surrounded you. It's a one-stop shop. You got a grappling coach, you got a Poncho, Ricardo Feliciano. He's a checkmate second-degree black belt. Daniel Warren, he's a world-class Muay Thai striking coach. Used to be with Anderson Silva. We got a good wrestling coach, Ian. He's also fighting again in February 1st, not to be 4-0. And you got Dan Henderson and a great team. Derek Sapadine, Jesse Taylor, Sam Alvey, Fernando Gonzalez. So, I could go on and name people, but we're more quality and not quantity.
Yeah, Team Quest is pretty stacked.
Yeah, and Tom, this is Albert, and this is actually going to be for the MFC belt. Does this add pressure to as far as how your training camp is and how your mindset is approaching this fight, or is it just like any other fight?
No, there's tons of pressure on this one, but I'm a little nervous, but it's good to train with a little bit of nervous and fear because you work a little bit harder.
And your opponent's going to be Kurt Southern, and most of his losses are to submissions, and you are like a submission specialist. Is that something that you have in the back of your mind, or to you it doesn't really matter where the fight takes place?
Doesn't matter where it takes place. I'm going to take the fight wherever it goes. I'm prepared for everything in this fight.
Hi, Tom.
I've been training really hard. I can't really concentrate on his game plan because I don't even have any time for any of that.
And then recently we've noticed on Twitter there's been a war of words. Can you a little bit?
Yeah, between you and Kurt, we're going at it on Twitter. Is that something you have fun with, with all your opponents, or is this kind of a little animosity towards Kurt, just to build up the rivalry a little more?
Yeah, it's just hyping up the fight a little bit. You know how it goes. Everything is fun, but we both want to win really badly, and I think we're expressing it very much over the social media.
Yeah, I know. You also have Sam Alvey's been in your corner, in your camp. He's also been pressing for you really hard. Have you been asking him, picking his brains about what it's like competing in the MFC in the ring, and what's it like competing in front of the Canadian fans?
Excuse me?
I know you have Sam Alvey on your camp in Team Quest. He's already fought multiple times in MFC. This would be your first time in the company. Have you picked his brain a little bit on what it's like to compete up there in the company? It's a ring. It's the Canadian fans. Have you done that a little bit, or just kind of focusing on the fight?
Well, I've had more fights in the ring than Sam has. I've had over half my fights in the ring, so I know to work the ring very well.
And just to stay with that real quick, how different is it to fight in a ring than in a cage?
Ropes are a little bit different. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but ropes are a little bit different, but I could handle it.
That's cool. So I will let you go, Tom. Wish you best of luck on Friday, January 17th. You go to Kurt Southern for the MFC lightweight title. Before we let you go, you want to give a shout out to your training camp sponsors and stuff like that?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to all my coaches, Daniel Warren, Ricardo Feliciano, Ian, my wrestling coach, Mark Hughes, another grappling coach, all my guys back at home, Dan Fisher, all my friends, family, my sponsors, Young's Appliance, Crystal Glass, Down the Scrap, the Kills, throwing the after party, 7 o'clock in Temecula,
there you go. Friday.
The whole 9 yards. I can't really think of it all right now. And I want to give a shout-out to my worker, Kelsey's, for letting me have the time off.
All right, that's great.
And my buddy Nick for getting me the job. But expect to see a good, exciting fight. I'm going to leave it all in the ring. I already did all my part.
There you go. All right, Tom, best of luck to you, and thank you for taking the time to speak to us. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Not a problem.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
All right, welcome back. Joining us now on the 5-Round MMA hotline is MFC middleweight Gilbert Smith. Gilbert, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, but I'm not a middleweight.
Oh, you're not a middleweight.
Sorry, remember, he's dropping down.
Dropping down, yeah. Sorry about that. Former, yeah.
Staying to that, Gilbert, actually, how is the weight cut? I know you're probably getting tired of asking that question. How is the cut going, and what methods did you use to do this weight cut?
The the weight cut is going great, and the method I use is hard work and dedication.
Best one.
Yeah. Do you find it funny when you see guys like going on special diets? Saying they're doing like different stuff just to try and cut weight to keep the weight. But you said like hard work, dedication. It's a lot easier to stay in shape rather than get in shape for a fight, right?
Yeah. I mean, everybody has their own method. I just use a lot of hard work and a lot of road work and and just watching what I eat. But it was nothing special. I didn't do anything like that you need to write a book about.
Hi, Gilbert. This is Guillermo. Speaking with your training, you train out of Colorado. You think the high altitude will play into your conditioning leading up to this fight?
Maybe. It can't hurt. But I think Jason South is in Utah, and I think he's also a little bit in high altitude. So I think it's probably even now.
Speaking about your opponent, Jason South, he's 10-1, and do you see this as a way to show the MFC fans who you are, or to you it's just another fight?
Well, to me, it's really just another fight. I think the fans already know a little bit about me, but every time you fight, you want to show a little bit more. You want to show better stuff and different stuff. So every fight, you always want to have a good showing. It's not about Jason South. In my mind, this whole fight has nothing to do with Jason South. It's all about me and doing what I need to do to get the job done.
Yeah, hey, Gilbert, is this your first time competing outside of the United States professionally?
Yeah.
So what's that like? I mean, you're almost like you said, Gilbert Smith himself is like almost a brand. What's it like, expanding yourself to a different country and introduce yourself to a whole new audience of fight fans?
Well, obviously Canada, has a huge MMA community, so breaking into that market should be great. I'm not too sure how it's really going to affect me. I guess I'll see after the fight. Right now, life is normal. Everything is still the same. I'm just looking at it as another fight. Taking an airplane flight, heading up there, and going up, going there and doing my thing. So, I guess we see the repercussions after the fight if it really opens up more doors for me.
Yeah, what does it feel like for you personally to have the MFC come and contact you for a fight? Did you make you feel like wanted? I know I read some of the at least a 3-fight deal they gave you. What's that like being approached by a company as big as MFC to fight for them?
Well, I don't know if it was them approaching us or we approached them. I know I already contacted Mark Pavlovich as soon as I came off the Ultimate Fighter, so we was always in contact. So I don't think it was like they sought me out and found me and gave me a great deal. I think it was just a collaboration, and it finally made sense, and it worked out for everybody. Initially, when I first talked to Mark, he told me I had to go out there and get 2 more wins coming off a loss for Bubba McDaniel. So that's what I did. I went out there and did my job, and he stuck to his word. I stuck to my word, and we got it done.
That's good. And one thing that's unique about the MFC is that they actually fight in a ring. Does that take into play as far as how you train or how you set up for this fight? Or is there even a difference between the ring and the cage?
No, I mean, there's some differences, but I've competed in all different realms. I've boxed before, in the ring and kickbox. I've done jiu-jitsu on an open mat where we didn't have no ropes, no cage, and of course I fought in the cage. So, you go out there, you adapt, and you try to make things happen. We're not really too focused about the whole ring thing. I think I don't really see it playing too much of a factor. There are some things we got to be conscious about, but it's a fight, so we're just going to punch each other in the face and figure it out from there.
Yeah, I read recently that you were most of your career you were basically coaching yourself. Like you had a boxing coach, a jiu-jitsu coach, but you didn't really have somebody to put your whole game plan together. And now I think you're with Factory X. What's that like being in a camp and having coaches there and like having going over game plan strategy?
It feels good. One, it takes a little bit of stress off for me. It opens up my eyes to see things that that is very hard to see when you in action, in coaching, in training, and teaching. And obviously having that extra support, is something that I needed, and I'm glad that I have. And I love my original coaches, my specialized coaches. I love those guys. It was always there for me. And I love having them all. So together, I feel like I'm just more well-rounded. I'm more well-roundedly prepared.
So what's it like working at Factory X? What's like I know some camps are like, oh, we just grind out the wrestling all day, do some stuff. But what's it like a typical day at where you train at?
It's a typical day. We just have a bunch of monsters. I mean, we go hard. Well, we also are very smart. We have really good training and classes. We really help each other, and then we can have a hard sparring, and it is always set up, to simulate, the fight. Like we spar a lot on Fridays. When we have fights on Fridays, to prepare to fight on a Friday, like Chris Weidman in the UFC, he had a couple fights on a Wednesday, with the Ultimate Fight Nights. So we did, we changed it up and did sparring on Wednesdays.
Wow.
So we keep it adaptive and just keep trying to change with the times and try to get better.
So how's it like being at a camp where you got guys at the top level? Does it push you to be? Do you guys push each other like as like an inner competition to get the most out of your guys' training?
Yeah, to have decent guys, it validates your training, it validates who you are as a fighter, as an athlete. Once you go in there and you go with guys that are better or at top level or have been to the top and do well with those guys and learn from them, and then they learn from you. It makes you more confident when you actually step into the ring or cage.
Yeah, that's great stuff, Gilbert. So Gilbert Smith, January 17th, MSC 39, no redemption against Jason South. We wish you best of luck, and thank you for taking the time to speak to us. We really appreciate it. Before we let you go, you want to give a shout out to your camp sponsors and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank my camp, Factory X, my personal school, Victory MMA, my jiu-jitsu, Chester Rock Design Jiu-Jitsu, my boxing, Carlos Ibero Boxing. My sponsors, Panino's Restaurant off of A Street in Colorado Springs, Highway Care, the best chiropractor in Colorado Springs, my physical therapist, Jeremy Snyder at Rocky Mountain Rehab, Canelo Fit, best strength and conditioning place in Colorado Springs, and my supplement sponsor, Synergy. With the best supplements in the market. I want to thank everybody, and also obviously my family, my friends, my training partners.
Cool. All right, Gilbert. Best of luck, and thank you again. Let her go on some time, man.
Thank you.
Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
All right, welcome back. The UFC returns back to action, and more importantly, returns back to action in the United States.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, January, what's the date?
Well, the point is, you don't got. The point is, you don't gotta wake up at 3 a.m. to watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna be held in Atlanta, or not, just Georgia. Sorry, just Georgia. But main event's gonna be consisted of Luke Rockhold versus Costa Philippou, and the co-main event's gonna be Lorenz Larkin versus Brad Tavares.
One of the guys I put on my list.
Brad Tavares?
No, Lorenz Larkin.
Lorenz Larkin.
Costa Philippou?
No.
No? I don't remember your list. Also, TJ Dillashaw versus Mike Easton. And then also, Albert, wanted to point out the return of Charlie Brenneman. But you get to watch super early to watch Charlie Brenneman because he's at the first fight.
He's on the Facebook fights.
Actually, no, Fight Pass.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, and I think your subscription ended, so
No, you get 2 free months. So.
Yeah, okay.
So it ends next month.
So if you want to see Charlie Brenneman, you got to log on to the Fight Pass.
Mm-hmm.
But so this is basically the first taste of the middleweight division post Anderson Silva, right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask you guys this. I mean, basically, these are the guys that Chris Weidman's going to be looking after now, right? The Rockholds,
these are the guys
the
rising.
Philippouds, the
Even
Larkins.
Derek Brunson, he's the guy that defeated Chris Weidman after
Derek Brunson versus Joel Romero is also on this card. So actually, in total, there's also Trevor Smith versus Brian Houston's also on the card too. So about 4 middleweight bouts.
Yeah.
On this one card.
I think that's saying something.
Yeah. So
I think this card's been been lined up for a while.
Yeah, but
no, I still think it's saying something.
I want to talk about the current state and the future state of the middleweight division post Anderson Silva. Now, these are the guys in the past. Now you go off the contenders and Michael Bisping against Anderson Silva. Well, Anderson Silva, duh, right? Fans thought not.
They didn't have a chance against Anderson Silva.
So, but like Luke Rockhold, Anderson Silva. but like Luke Rockhold, Chris Weidman.
That sounds interesting.
Luke Rockhold. I mean, Chris Weidman, Costa Philippou.
That sounds very interesting.
Lorenz Larkin, Anderson Silva. Lorenz Larkin, Chris Weidman.
There we go. There we go. Now we're talking.
See, but so like people are saying, Chris Weidman defeated the GOAT, so he's all automatically fighter of the year, best fighter in the world now. But do you is it basically now is the middle division wide open?
I think so. I really do think Chris Weidman has a lot to prove. I mean, just the way the fights ended against Anderson Silva, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and you kind of don't want to accept it.
Well, I just don't think it's fair for him. I mean, it's not fair for him because he wasn't able to display his all his fighting skills against Anderson Silva. The first one was a knockout, which Anderson Silva was messing around with them. The second one was the leg kick, a freak accident, according to Albert. So it's
according to some people, Chris Weidman trained for that.
Oh yeah, he did. You saw it on prime
I already
time.
said it. If in the next fight the other guy breaks his leg because he kicks him and checks him, then I'll be like, oh okay, that's a legit move. That's something people need to start watching out for.
Yeah. But my point is that it's kind of unfair for Chris Weidman, and he doesn't get credit from you guys. But until he beats Vitor Belfort, according to you guys, he'll get credibility.
Pre-Anderson Silva, he beat Mark Munoz and Damian Maia, and the Damian Maia fight was taken on short notice, and that was Damian Maia's last fight in the middleweight division. And
he put up a good fight.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of saying he didn't beat Belfort, Machida, or Michael Bisping, or even Alan Belcher. So it's like, I mean, but I'm just saying, like you said,
he beat Mark Munoz.
Yeah,
and that was a devastating knockout.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm like I said, I still need to convince.
No, but the thing about the middleweight is this card is going to bring up a lot of middleweight contenders.
Yeah,
and a lot of potential people that could possibly fight whoever wins Vitor. Either if it's Vitor or Chris, these guys are all potential guys that can even
that's
fight
my
them
point.
as well.
Yeah. But even if Vitor wins, I still think the division's wide open. I think.
Well, I think Vitor not just saying it's Chris Weidman.
Yeah, I think even whoever takes champion. I mean, except for Machida, right, Albert?
Yeah, because if Machida became champion, they might as well just go drop down to welterweight and they have their shot there.
I don't know about that.
But it's kind of different how it's perceived when the champion's gone, huh? I mean, remember how many years is middleweight division?
Well,
dead man's zone, right?
I mean, it's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's no one could compete with them.
And funny, as soon as he leaves, then it starts becoming stacked.
Yeah, almost even before that,
and you still have the alligator and
Jacare,
Jacare in the corner. You know, I mean. It's a stacked division now.
And then Gegard Mousasi if he beats Machida.
Well, we don't know. we don't know where Gegard Mousasi really is. He took this fight, but I don't think he's an official middleweight.
I don't know. Maybe Rich Franklin might want to
come back.
Yeah.
Try to test the waters at middleweight.
Might as well. I mean, UFC has their
He's
top.
not officially retired.
Yeah, UFC has their top 10 middleweights as this is kind of old still, but Anderson Silva is still number 1, Belfort number 2, Jacare number 3, Machida number 4, Bisping number 5, Rockhold number 6, Munoz number 7, Francis Cormon number 8, Tim Kennedy number 9, and Costa Philippou number 10. And that's what they actually extended it to 15 actually. So Tim Bosch is 11, Alan Belcher is 12, Lorenz Larkin is actually ranked 13th.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's impressive.
Chael Sonnen is ranked 14th.
And Chael Sonnen is returning back to middleweight.
Thales Leites is ranked 15th. So you have how many? 3 or 4 ranked middleweights on this card. So it actually is like line them up right for Chris Weidman. Right? Well, no, he said he has an MCL tear, but
let's make a list of who's next after Vitor.
Yeah, basically. Also got Alpha Males, bantamweight TJ Dillashaw on the card. Because that's about his bout. I think he was the fighter who officially/unofficially ended the winning streak last year for the Alpha Males, right? But he's going up against Mike Easton in the bantamweight bout. So you get thoughts on that fight?
I think it's going to be a great fight. I was a big fan of Mike Easton, but I'm a bigger fan of the Alpha Males. So, I don't know. I'm kind of just going to sit back and enjoy this fight. I'm not going to really try to cheer for one or the other.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle on this one. TJ Dillashaw is a really good fighter, but so is Mike Easton.
Yeah, I will go back to the co-main event. Lorenz Larkin, who's a local fighter here in Southern California, if he defeats Brad Tavares, I mean, is that like another step up? Maybe he's ranked 13th.
I think if he beat Brad Tavares, he shouldn't be fighting people that are not ranked.
Yeah, I think after this Brad Tavares fight, and if he wins, he gets nothing but ranked opponents after this.
Yeah, I mean, like just look at his fight with Francis Cormon. Albert actually thought Larkin won the fight.
I thought he was more the busier fighter, even when he was on the ground. I thought he was doing more effective
and
things
look at where Francis Cormon's ranked.
That's
Yeah.
true. So
He's ranked above them.
I think after this win, he really gets pushed up there and he fights a few ranked people.
Like maybe the loser of the main event.
Yeah, maybe the
or
loser of the main
winner
event, or
maybe?
even the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts on this card? UFC Fight Night.
No, I think we wrapped this one pretty good.
Well, in terms of picks, Luke Rockhold should have this, and then Lawrence Larkin should have this.
Yeah. Either no a hangover effect from Vitor's kick to Luke Rockhold. Do you think?
Nah.
No.
That's just fighting someone on. I didn't want to say the S word.
Don't say the S word. TRT, man.
TRT.
Super Vitor.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Rockhold didn't have kryptonite. How was he supposed to beat him?
That's true. It's an interesting middleweight division. This conversation about the middleweight division, 3 years ago, even last year. No, Anderson Silva's king. Don't even think about it.
Yeah,
I was like, it's a crapshoot, right? Anybody who?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But is that it for today?
Yep.
That's it for today.
All right, so make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and make sure to check out OvertimeDanSoda.com where you can see our weekly articles and editorials and commentaries and all that great stuff. And also check out FiveRoundMMA.com, the first place you could see our web show, but also subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube. I said that already, right? And also I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Honey Badger Performance Energy Drinks. Go to drinkhoneyBadger.com and grab yourself a scoop. I want to thank the Madhouse clothing line. Go shop themadhouse.com and follow them on Twitter at the Madhouse MMA. And a big thank you to Top Rated MMA. Go shop topratedmma.com and follow them on Twitter at Top Rated MMA. Albert, what do you got?
I just want to thank our executive producer Guillermo Cita, our engineer who's back, Ollie the Trolley, our sound.
Did you bring us anything from the East Coast, Oliver?
He didn't even bring us snow.
No? Like a little snow globe, nothing?
Just like Ollie the Trolley to do. And then our sound engineer over there, Steven Roswell with Roswell Records. Hit them up for any of your sound needs. I'd like to thank everybody for listening.
Cream of the crop.